Hi everybody, Religious Fanboy here again, and today we are reviewing um the movie Your Name. Um and except for a couple of scenes, I recommend this. I recommend the video, the movie. I wanted before I got into the scripture, I wanted to just kind of thought it'd be a good idea to talk about like artistic stuff that I liked about it. I really like the way you kind of see it here. Um, I really like the I really like the majority of the opening of it, and like the song opening that plays, and I really like the artistic ways he does this guy and some of the more abstract visuals throughout this. I like the way they're animated. And another thing that I like how well, like if you hear the English version, I really like the way the song um that play through, like even though it's not a musical, like you see how the songs like kind it almost, I don't know if the songs were specifically, I think some of them were, but I didn't know if all of them were. But the music just, the lyrics and like the tones of the music just work so well and like complement the film so well. I really like these themes of like growing up and like kind of like trusting God's plan and His timing and stuff. And like from a Christian perspective, that's what I thought the theme and lesson was. Um, and I just I really like all the character interactions and like kind of like see people becoming more responsible, like gaining more responsibility just because they have to in situations due to like situations that they get involved in through their friends and through what they're going through at this time and stuff. Um, so I really like it. Um, and I really like how like even though there are moments where it seems happy but it doesn't go that way, it's kind of like I feel like part of the message was like, and like how it was kind of portrayed in some of like the scenes and interactions was that like not all the things that we would like usually think would happen in a happy ending have to happen, or at least not in the way that we would assume would happen. Like they don't meet up again until much later, and even though he saves the girl's life, they don't. It's still a long time before they get to talk to each other again, and also like they end up forgetting each other's names, but then they like see each other later. I just thought, oh, that's kind of like a really cool and interesting and like unsuspected, mature way of handling this story. Um, kind of like big part of the plot is they switch uh Mitsuha and the main character. I can't remember his name. Um, but like they switch bodies every once in a while, and like they eventually stopped, and like every time they did that, and through time they forgot what had happened during those times. Um, so I thought that was interesting. Now I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. The um first 13 verses of chapter 13 of First Corinthians. So pause the video and turn to that, please, if you want to. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but I do not have love. I have become sounding brass or clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and knowledge, and though I have all faith so I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind, does not envy. Love does not parade itself, it's not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophecy in part. But when which is perfect has come, then which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see a mirror, for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known. And now abide faith, hope, these things, but the greatest of these is love. And now I want that was Corinthians first 13 verses of Corinthians chapter 13. And now I'm wanting to read the first 8 verses of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embrace, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to still, and a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Um, with that being said, May God. Feel free to ask questions in the comments below. And please add Bible verses that like you thought also go along with the topics we had here. And and like part of this that reminds me of my testimony is like we've been talking about forgiving. In the past 2 weeks we've been talking about for past couple weeks now. From when this video is up. We were talking about forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. One of the ways that that two of the things that help me forgive myself for stuff, and is that through reminding myself of like the times God's forgiven me and like His patience with me, and also like remembering like other times I've repented and seeing how I've changed in those ways, and also is one of the ways, just because then it gives me hope that like this thing that I'm struggling with now, I like the things I've struggled with before, I will be able to overcome this and stuff. And also another thing that helps me forgive myself is like, even though the same way in like memories of past sins can like harm me mentally and psychologically, um it's still, I still need to remember those we still should remember our mistakes, but also we don't have to, once we've asked for forgiveness and been forgiven of them and forgiven ourselves for it, we don't have to hate ourselves for it. And it's kind of like the like grace not to like continue sinning, but God gives us grace so that we can, so that we still have a relationship with Him, and so He's able, so we can be with Him eventually, and He gives us second chances so we can learn and grow to be more like Him. Um, so with that being said, feel free to ask questions in the comments below. With that being said, may God be with you, and see you next time. Bye.